बादल देखो भारी आ गए।
हाँ वही तो,
भारी बादल आ गए।
मेरे ख्याल से वो सब अब बाहर ले जाएंगे।
It's actually a very clear day today. You can see the southern tip of Lake Michigan down there to our left. You can see Indiana. So the buildings in Chicago, where you have the smokestacks, that's Indiana. And I swear that every time I see the building coming up here to our left, I think it should be somewhere in Nantucket or in Cape Cod on the East Coast, the Chicago Marine Safety Station from 1933. As we continue to head westbound, I will also quickly point out the cluster of taller buildings about a mile and a half to our left or to our south, and the ones right behind them. And just kind of imagine back in 2000, almost 95% of the buildings in that cluster to our south right there did not exist. What's been built down there rivals many skylines in the entire Midwest. That's called the South Loop. Now, as you kind of head south near McCormick Place, things kind of peter out down there. That could change in the very near future. About 15 years ago, the old Michael Reese Hospital got torn down. And right now, developers have like 45 acres of land to work with, plus the marshalling yards in McCormick Place, that's another 40 acres. So right now, they have 2, possibly 3 phases of development. The first 2 phases will have about 8 million square feet of space and buildings up to 450 feet. If there is a phase 3, we could have buildings as tall as 800 feet down there to our south at 31st Street in the lakefront. That's 15-20 years down the pike, but it is being discussed, and as of right now, there are no people complaining about that height nor density. The small inlet of water that goes around the corner here to our right is called Ogden Slip, named after Chicago's first mayor, William Butler Ogden. Chicago was founded as a town back in 1833 with a population of roughly 400. March 4th, 1837, population roughly 4,000, Chicago became a city. Today, about 2.7 million people in the city limits. Chicago gets its name from the Native American word Chicago or Chicagawa, which roughly translates to mean stinky wild onion or garlic or stinkweed. Pretty much we grew on the banks of the river at the time. And eventually, the land directly to our right will be turned into a park, and named after the area's first permanent non-native settler, Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, or du Sable, who came to the area back in about 1779. He was born down in Haiti in about 1745. His mother was a Haitian slave. His father was French. His homestead was where the current-day Tribune Tower, Wrigley Building, and Apple Store are today. He had 20 acres at that site. He was there for about 20 years, and at that time, that was a lakefront. For the most part, everything in this area east of Michigan Avenue is landfill. Some natural, some man-made. They have double the width of the sidewalks, and again, I like these brand new railings a lot. Of the 4 double-decker drawbridges, Lakeshore Drive here above us is the youngest from 1937. And as we clear the roadway, an explosion of buildings and architecture before and around us. But here to our left, a brand new landmark now graces the downtown skyline. That is now officially Chicago's brand new 3rd tallest building and tallest building in the world, designed by a female-owned architectural firm, Studio Gang Architects. The architect's name is Jeannie Gang. She's headquartered here in Chicago. Now, initially it was called Vista Tower. It has been rebranded to the St. Regis. The bottom 12 floors are going to have a 200-room hotel, then to the top almost 400 condominiums. Base price for a 1-bedroom, $900,000. Last I heard, they were about 50% under contract, and I believe the first people have now started to move in. As you can see, you have like 5 to 6 different shades of green glass transitioning up and down the building. You all come back sometime next year, have a drink at the hotel bar. Right now, Jeannie Gang has buildings that are just finished in San Francisco, St. Louis, and Brooklyn. She was also chosen last year to design a brand new terminal for O'Hare Airport, so right now, she's very busy. I told you all earlier that building at 150 North Riverside has 12 tanks of water on top that can hold roughly 160,000 gallons. This building has tanks that can hold 400,000 gallons. That space near the top that has no glass, and it's called a blow-through floor. They will not add glass to that space at all. It will remain open to allow the air and wind to blow through the building. That helps with the structure's stability. It is very hard to imagine, especially if you've never been here before, but I remember it clearly. Back in 2000, here to our left was a 9-hole, 28-acre par 3 public golf course. 60 years ago, railroad land. 160 years ago, for the most part, there was no land. Here was a harbor. This is a brand new neighborhood, Lakeshore East. First building started construction in 2002. It is now 2020. They're not done yet. Here to our left, the horizontal is called the Coast. It's rental. In the background of the gap here to our left, coming up with the blue glass, is the current home of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Now, if you were taking this tour 12 years ago, we see the columns and gap a bit more than halfway up. That's how tall that building was, 33 floors from 1996. It was designed so if they wanted to expand, you could take off the roof and 24 more floors, which is what they did between 2009 and 11, and it's seamless. Triangular shaped building here to our left, Swiss Hotel, 1988, Harry Weiss, same guy who did the jail. Here, the triangular shape helps to maximize river views from the hotel rooms. Personally, I love the gap here to our left. The colors, shapes, and textures of all three buildings just kind of slam together. They're in the background with that undulating floor plate that is called Aqua, also by Studio Gang Architects. Bottom 20 floors, Radisson Blu Hotel. Next 30 floors are rental apartments. Last 30 floors are condominiums. And there to our left down Columbus is now Chicago's fourth tallest building and tallest building in the world, but its name changed twice. Initially, the Standard Oil building, Big Stan, then the Amoco building, it is now Aon Center. It was the world's tallest marble-clad building when built. However, it no longer is. Now, because a taller building has been built clad with marble, that structure is no longer covered with that material. Back in the mid-'80s, they realized that thin marble was cracking and buckling was in danger of falling off the building. Whoops. Didn't hold up too much of the freeze thaw cycle that we have every year and have had every year in this area since the completion of planet Earth. And to totally reclad that building with granite from North Carolina, and it cost roughly $80 million. It cost $120 million to build the entire building in the first place. They don't even have corner offices. And finally, to our left in that gap, looking like a sharpened pencil or a rocket ship about to blast off, Prudential Plaza number 2 from 1990. Spires on buildings like that work just fine. So right now, we are about to redock here at Michigan Avenue. I'm just going to kindly ask those who are standing to please do take your seats and remain in your seats. The boat has docked, so they have that ramp secured. Sometimes we can tap against the seawall slightly. Don't want anyone to stumble over and hurt themselves. Look around. Don't forget your cameras, glasses, cell phones, purses, bags, any personal belongings. If you all have garbage, please gather your garbage so you all can throw it away. There'll be a garbage can by the exit ramp. If you all have comments for me, I'll be up there on that platform. Don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my very best to answer. While you're here in Chicago, if you can, get out of downtown. The city is so much more than you will have seen on this tour. It is 230 square miles of things to do. So if you like architecture, neighborhoods, culture, on the south side,